Alright, this video is going to be a little different, a little weird per se. I doubt anyone else has ever done this or even remotely thought to do anything like this. I'm just like that. I'm the one that did it, not that it needed to happen. Just about the most niche thing you could imagine. We're making a tier list today, and not just any tier list. I'm narrowing in on the species of the toads, because there's a lot of toads out there. This video is sort of going to function as a way for you to learn about all of the toads, but mainly just so you can see my ranking of them, and that sort of just serves as a way to say which ones of these are disgusting, and which one of these are kinda cool. And I will say, a lot of these are just random weird monstrosities from like the 80s and 90s Mario Super Show cartoons and all that, so get ready for some really weird stuff you've never seen before and probably haven't heard of ever. And this is in no specific order aside from just being listed in tiers or ranks. So obviously, we start at the bottom with F. And pretty much the entire F tier consists of gross creatures from the Super Show and stuff, including what might just be the most hideous thing I've ever seen, the mer mushroom. This is a thing. I'd hate to have been the guy that had to go out of his way to add this to the Mario Wikipedia and list it as a member of the toad species, or even as just a thing that exists at all. And I'd hate to have been the person that thought this was a good idea to put into the world, but they did. And I think it's hideous, and you should too. Aside from that, we've got things like the Caveman, Bingo, Jake the Crusher, Mushroom Marauder, Mayor Fettuccine, Minister of Massage, Mr. Mayor, Mushroom Nanny, Mushroom Referee, Painter, Pine, Prince Hugo, Puff, Scooter, Senior Mayor, Servant, Sultan, Toad's Cousin, and Wooster. Now there are specific ones there, like maybe a few. I know for a fact Puff, for example, is not from the Super Show. That's actually a character from one of the original Mario parties. I just put her down here because look at it. And also I want to bring up this dude called Sultan. This is just a human. This isn't even a toad. He's got a nose. Toads don't have noses. Why is he here? I don't know. And then you got like this Scooter guy. He's like Bart Simpson, but turned down a few hex shades. I don't know what he's doing here either. And honestly, most of these ones from like the Super Show and stuff that are this low, they're only really this low just because the art style of that show just automatically makes them look so much worse than they would if it was a different art style. Like, everything just looks so gross and bad. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're just gonna move on from those weird things and move into the D tier. Here we've got some things like the Baker, which is another one from the show, and also looks gross because of it, but at least he's kind of unique. You know, he's got that nice blue color scheme going for him, but at the same time, just very ugly design. We've also got Chef Spore. I don't even know how anyone even realized that this thing even exists in the first place, because apparently it's just from like a singular image in some random comic from a long time ago, but it's literally just a toad with like a floppy hat. I don't know who thought it was important enough to just throw it in and say, yep, this is a notable member of the toad species, Chef Spore, that guy from that comic that no one has ever read. In addition to that, we've got the Club 64 bartender from Paper Mario. I just think his glasses just being like white circles, not a fan of that. Looks like he's got like soulless eyes. Then we've got Gramps, who appeared in the Mario Brothers Super Show, and he's just another one of those really weird looking guys. Next is Hint Toad from Super Mario Odyssey. It's a regular toad for the most part, but what really throws it off for me is the fact that he's wearing a hat on top of his hat, and his whole outfit is just kinda goofy. Then we've got Jolene from Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. I don't know what her role is, but she looks like a Karen, and I'm not a fan, and her shoes are goofy. Next up is Kenope, or Kinope. I don't know what that is. And unfortunately, you're not going to want to see this, but this is what it is, and this is apparently an official thing. I really don't understand why this exists. What evil person manifested this? This is terrible. You would never believe that this is an official thing, but it is, and I'm gonna move on, because yikes. Then we've got the Master Poet from Paper Mario. Honestly, I kind of like his design for the most part. It's just kind of like his goofy William Shakespeare hair that throws it off for me. Next up is Miss Shroomlock from Mario Party Advance. Just not a fan of what's going on here. Like, her face being that stretched looks a little weird when most Toads have rounded heads, and also just, I don't know, you look at her. Then we've got the Mushroom Rebel from the Mario Brothers Super Show as well, and I don't know what this guy's doing. He's like riding inside of a trash can or something, and he's got goggles on. I don't know what his deal is, but I rightfully am not a fan of that. Then we've got the Mushroom Shop Clerk from the original Mario Party. Again, like that one I mentioned a few ago. Head, very elongated, equals very weird. I don't know what this guy is doing. Also, his hair is very goofy. Then we've got the Outback Mayor. This guy's a little silly fella. He's got a monocle on. He's like the Monopoly man, but a mushroom. And it's the Super Show, so it automatically looks really gross. Then we've got Prince Mush, which this one's apparently a dude, but it still looks like a Karen, so no. Then we've got the Rock Paper Wizard from Paper Mario Color Splash. You know, he's rightfully very low on this list just for that giant hand hat that is existing on his head. Then we've got the Starshade Bros from Superstar Saga, and these dudes are apparently Toads. Their smile is very unsettling, and their whole appearance is also that, so yeah. Then we've got Truffle Toes, which appeared in a comic, apparently. This guy is very important, not really, but this one's literally just a mushroom. I don't know how he's like a not fully developed toad. Then we've got Zesty, and aside from the fact that her name is Zesty, you know, it's got the weird hair, she's a grumpy old lady toad. Not a fan. And lastly, for the D tier, we have the Genie of the Lamp, who is the successor to the Lamp Genie, and those are two different things. This one appeared in Mario Party 4, the Lamp Genie appeared in Mario Party 3. However, this one is disgusting. He sticks his giant belly out at you, and he like pats it very mischievously, and you're just supposed to stare at him. Very much a downgrade, a glow down from the previous one, who was jacked. Moving into the C tier, we've got the Dryites, which aren't even a specific toad, they're a race of toads, and they look like this. Just kind of an design. I mean, pretty cool spin on the toad design, just not the coolest thing out there. Then we've got the Bank Toad, again, like that one from earlier. A hat on top of a hat is kind of weird, and that outfit is kind of dumb. Then we've got the Card Connoisseur Toad from Mario Color Splash, or Paper Mario Color Splash. Not really a fan of characters with these big, goofy, round glasses that you can't even see their eyes behind. Just looks very dumb, if you ask me. Then we've got the Doctor from Superstar Saga. Especially his original appearance, his head is very big and weird looking. Then we've got the Excess Express Engineer from Thousand Year Door. He doesn't even really look like a regular Toad, because he doesn't have the Toad hat. Whatever hat he's wearing is a lot smaller than regular Toad hat, so it really throws his design off. Then we've got the Excess Express Waitress. The outfit here is a little flambunctious. That's not a word. I said like rambunctious and flamboyant at the same time, but I guess that gets the point across. Then we've got Gaz from Mario RPG. This guy, his color scheme's also a little eyesore, so yeah, he's low. Then we've got Harry from Paper Mario. He's just kind of a regular looking toad, but he's got a mustache, and also his toad hat has a brim for some reason. Then Hefty, who is just a very heavy toad, or a hefty toad, I guess you could say, because that's the pun. But you know, I mean, I couldn't look at this guy and put him really high on the list, obviously. Then we've got Concho Kinopio, whatever that means. That's like Japanese for some reason. Again, weird glasses, not cool. Then we've got Kinopio-kun, which is some like weird character that Nintendo uses for some online service thing, and I'm just not a fan of the way this one looks at me. He's blushing at me. I didn't say anything to him that would make him have to do that at me, and I want him to stop. Therefore, I put him in C tier to make him stop. Then we've got the male Toad from Mario Galaxy, but also Mario Odyssey. Okay, I don't know what it is. That weird explorer outfit that this one and those other two had, I'm just not a fan of it. It really doesn't go well with the whole Toad design. Then we've got Mr. E from Mario Party Advance. This guy's just very angry, and something about him just doesn't really suggest that he's a real Toad. Then we've got Mushbert, also from Mario Party Advance. You know, this guy's pretty chill. The main thing that really threw him off for me was just the fact that his head is very long and tall and skinny, unlike a regular Toad. Then we've got the Oarsman from Paper Mario, the Origami King. Again, the hat on top of hat action is very strange. And the same goes for the next one, Professor Toad, also from Origami King, except his hat is even weirder. Then we've got Rainy and Raz, who are these two, like, Swedish-looking toads from Mario RPG. I mean, they're just kinda I guess. Then we've got the Rosetown Innkeeper, which pretty much looks exactly like the last one, also from Mario RPG. Followed by Russ T from Paper Mario. Again, the weird circular glasses that you can't see through. At least you can see his eyes, but still, just not the best thing out there. Then we've got the Sunset Express Conductor. It's a shame that some of these guys don't even have actual names. They're just like very long things instead of unique names, but oh well. And this one is pretty much just a toad covered in soot, so oh well for them. Then we've got Tasty from Paper Mario. Again, of the weird curly Shakespearean hair, not a fan. Also, she looks very sickly and tired, so that's unfortunate. Then we've got Toad in the Desert. They couldn't even give him a name, they just called him Toad in the Desert. They just described him in order to name him. And this guy, pretty much that master poet from earlier, just like brownish in color. Then we've got Toadbert from Partners in Time. Again, it's these annoying glasses. I don't know what their thing is with that and putting it on toads, or just characters in general, but I hate it. Then we've got Toadia from Thousand Year Door. She's got these weird braids, which I guess have appeared in a couple other toads I've mentioned so far, but, you know, there's just nothing really special going on here. Then we've got Toadster, who's from some manga, apparently, and he's just an angry toad with a mustache and a spear, which is kind of weird. Then we've got Zip Toad, and you know, he's got sunglasses, so he's automatically pretty chill. It's just, he looks kind of weird. I don't know what it is with this one. And lastly, for the C tier, we have Mushroom Genie, and not Mushroom Genie as in Genie, Genie as in the name Genie, as in the other Mushroom Genie from Mario Party 3, the one that appears when you use the Lucky Lamp and not the magic golden lamp thing. Because, you know, they're two different characters for some reason. And this one looks like this, which I'm just not a fan of that design, really, and also I kind of took it down a bit just because, like, the golden lamp is infinitely more useful than the Lucky Lamp, so boom. Anyway, then, we move into the B tier. Starting with the generic Paper Toad. I honestly love all Paper Mario games' graphics and the way characters looks, so yeah, that's pretty cool. But, moving on, we've got Battle Master from Thousand Year Door. I probably would have put this in A just because it's got a nice color scheme with the purple, but there's that weird lump on his head. I don't know what that's all about, but it's weird. Then we've got Battle Tea, the legend from Mario Party 2 and 3. He's this teal toad, which I can't think of a single other toad of that color, and he hosts all of the battle minigames and stuff, or not battle minigames, but like the battles extra modes in some of the N64 Mario Parties. He's pretty cool, but, you know, his shirt, it just very much is a stark contrast from his hat color, so from a design perspective, I took him down a bit. Then we've got Captain Toad, as well as Captain T-Ode, which are two different things, I kid you not. And Captain T-Ode honestly looks pretty cool, because he's got like a pirate captain outfit, except it just doesn't really go well with the Toad hat, so yeah. Then we've got Chancellor, which is the dude from Mario RPG, and all the toads in Mario RPG just look really weird, so they're all kind of not as high as they could be. They're all very stretched for some reason. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe like the isometric view of the game, but yeah. Then we've got Cinder Toad, also from that game, but this guy's pretty sick looking. He's got like a very biker style appearance. Then we've got DJ Toad from the Origami King. He's got sunglasses, so that's definitely cooler than those stupid white, circular, regular glasses. And then also the Earth Velumental Temple Curator. And that's the dude's name, but it's literally the same thing as the last one, just green instead of purple. Then we've got 4Bear, and this guy has nothing to do with bears. He's a toad. Just by the looks of this picture, he's from Sticker Star apparently. That monochrome color scheme is pretty cool, is all I've got to say. Then we've got Frost T. Honestly, I think the earmuffs look kind of weird in tandem with the toad hat, but you know, winter vibes are awesome, so he's up here in the B tier. Then we've got Fun Gus. This guy can delete your data in the original Mario Party. I don't really know what to say about his design. He's definitely not as ugly as that one dude with the tall head from this game, but yeah. Then we've got the Gardener, and this is literally the only picture I found of him, and he's this old man, and it's very low quality because it's from Mario RPG, but you know, an old Toad kind of looks cool, like Toad's worth. Then we've got Grandma Green and Grandma Red, which is this duo of characters from one of the Mario and Luigi games, and just considering them as like a duo and just grouping them into one, I think it's a neat little thing. And then we've got Granny from Legend of the Seven Stars. I mainly like this design just because it's like brown color for Toad, which is a very uncommon color. The main one that comes to mind for a brown Toad is Toadsworth, and he's pretty cool. But then you've got this one, which is also pretty cool. Then we've got Guide Toad from Paper Mario Color Splash. It's just a toad holding a flag, but you know, nothing wrong with that. Then we've got Herb Tea, just a toad with a mustache, but you know, that's pretty cool too. And then the legendary Captain, and his design doesn't look very legendary, and honestly, I was talking trash about the other toads wearing hats on top of their hats, but I think this one works pretty well. It's a pirate hat, and he's got a big, what do you call that, like a cutlass or a corsair. It's pretty cool. Then we've got the Lighthouse Keeper, which is just another paper toad with sunglasses. The Master from Paper Mario, which is this old Kung Fu Dojo toad, and he also has a ghost form, so that's pretty epic. Then we've got Minty, which is pretty much just literally like Toadette, so yeah. And then also Mini T, which is just a regular yellow toad, kind of, but it's a paper toad, so cool. Then we've got Nifty, which is just another toad with a mustache. Followed by the Origami Craftsman, which is just a toad, so, you know, can't say anything bad about him. Then we've got Pop Diva, which is a purple toad, and that's honestly a pretty cool color for toads. Then we've got Porter, who has this really cool black color scheme, which kind of calls to mind like the ice flower or the penguin suit for Blue Toad in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. And this, instead of the white, honestly looks really cool. It's like a shiny Pokemon that turns black, but with a toad. Then we've got Sea Captain Toad. Again, hat on top of hat, but this one kind of sports it kind of well, and he's got that cool bandana around his neck. Then we've got Sencho Canopio, which is, I guess that means the same thing as the last one, just in Japanese to differentiate them or something, but yeah. Then we've got Toadofsky, this like ninja-looking dude from Mario RPG, and he's got these weird clogs. I mean, it's a kind of cool design. Then we've got Toodles, which is this toad. I mainly put it this high just because it's a nice color scheme. That's kind of it, because the outfit is kind of weird. And lastly, Vanna T. Just a cute little design. It's nice seeing a different pattern on the toad hat. Instead of circles, you've got hearts. Moving into the A tier, we've got Mummy Me, which is a mummified version of Toad from Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and this just looks pretty cool. Then we've got the Shangri Spa Toad, and that sounds like it would be just a singular dude, but apparently there's multiple of them. It's an entire just subsect of toads, the Shangri Spa Toads. They're these pure white, angelic looking toads, which is really cool, because I can't think of a single other toad variety that is pure white with the hat. Then we've got Chef Canopio. This is probably the peak of toad wearing hat on top of hat. It's a chef hat. Then Toadley's Intern and also Toadiko. I don't know what the difference between these characters are. They're both from like Mario and Luigi games, but they look almost identical, but apparently they're different. Although I think it's just kind of cool. Pink Toad color is pretty cool, and they've got these like golden earrings. Then we've got the Excess Express Conductor, which is the same thing as Porter from B Tier. I just think the red looks cooler. Then we've got Feist T, which is like that one dude from the manga from earlier, except not stupid looking, and he's also a Paper Toad from Paper Mario, so bonus points. Then we've got Ghost T, which is kind of like the Mummy Me, but also not like it, because it's a regular ghost and not a mummy, but it still looks really cool. Then the Holly Jolly Mayor from Mario & Luigi Partners in Time. This one is just an old toad. I don't know what it is. A lot of the toads that are just old toads look pretty cool in my opinion, or they just have very nice designs. Then we've got the Rescue Squad, which is this group of 5 toads, all of their own unique color, and their hats are sort of like inverted from a regular toad hat, which I think is pretty cool. Then we've got Shroomlock from Mario Party Advance. This dude, he just looks epic. I mean, this picture is very tough. Look at him. I don't know what he's looking at, but I'm a fan of him is all I've got to say. Then we've got the Traveling Sisters 3, which is another group of toads. This time they look like this. I'm a big fan of the green one, honestly, specifically, but all 3 of them together look pretty cool as well. Then we've got Toadette, you know, the iconic Toadette. And I do have to say, I didn't actually include regular Toad in this, because this is supposed to be all about specific toads. Although I guess I could have, but I didn't. But Toadette is here in A tier anyway. And then lastly for this tier is the regular Mushroom Genie from Mario Party 2 and 3. The one that is jacked, not the weird one from Mario Party 4. And finally, the S tier, the greatest of toads. And I guess I should have mentioned earlier that I'm kind of doing this just based on how they look, as opposed to like what their character is or whatever. But anyway, we've got Yellow and Blue Toad. Okay, this kind of contradicts exactly what I just said, but these guys are literally here just because I grew up with New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and these guys are the goats. They were playable in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and then they were brought back in some other games, and they also appeared in the Mario Bros. Movie. They're just an iconic duo of toads, even though they're literally just regular toads. Anyway, we've also got Professor Fungi from Mario Party 2. Again, like I've said, old toads are pretty cool, and I like this one. It's like an old scientist doctor-looking toad, and he's got a purple hat. Purple's a pretty cool color. And then we've got Dr. Toadley, which is this dude, this like genie-looking wizard dude from Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. And just look at this image and tell me it doesn't go hard. You've got Bowser giving you the side eye from within the magic orb, and then this dude just staring at you angrily, and then some random bird sitting on it. It's epic. I love this dude. I've never even played this game, and I have no idea what he does, but I love him anyway. And lastly, we have the Mini Toad, which I guess isn't even a sentient being, but it's kind of a toad, and it's the one from the Mario and Donkey Kong series. It's like a robotic toad, but this is probably the cutest thing that has appeared on this list so far, so it's on top. And I'm not saying it's like the top of the top. I'd probably put Blue and Yellow Toad there just because iconic, and I love New Soup Wii, but yeah. This was a very strange video. I don't know who actually wanted to watch a ranking of toads. But anyway, I'm going to do it again next week with other things, because I've made a bunch of tier lists for just specific massive lists of Mario character variants, because why not? But I figured I'd start with a big one, a good one, the toads. But for now, if you like this, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, and thanks for watching.